The last couple of weeks weren't good for Sylvester Stallone. He's no stranger to hardship. His rise to fame was built on overcoming obstacles, but recent events have brought Stallone to his knees in ways he never expected. While many know him as the tough, unbreakable character Rocky Balboa, behind that facade is a man whose life has been tested by a heartbreaking series of personal tragedies. In this video, we'll delve into the painful experiences Stallone has endured over the last few weeks, revealing the true struggles of a Hollywood legend whose strength is being put to the ultimate test. The last couple of weeks weren't good for Sylvester Stallone. For a man who has spent most of his life in the spotlight, known for his roles as action-packed heroes who fight against the odds and emerge victorious, this has been a time of unimaginable personal sorrow. Stallone, who once embodied the epitome of strength and resilience, now finds himself facing a series of heartbreaking events that have shattered his world in ways no one could have predicted. His fans, who have followed his career from the early days of Rocky to his latest endeavors, watched in stunned silence as the man who once portrayed one of the world's most beloved tough guys was knocked down by life's cruelest challenges. While many people are accustomed to seeing Stallone as a larger-than-life figure, someone who can overcome anything with sheer determination, the reality of his recent struggles has shown the world that even the strongest among us can break under the weight of life's tragedies. In the past, Stallone's battles on screen, whether as the iconic boxer Rocky Balboa or the indestructible John Rambo, were the stuff of legend. However, in the face of his personal turmoil, these characters now seem distant and almost fictional, as the real-life challenges Stallone is currently dealing with are far more complicated and heart-wrenching. Over the past several weeks, Stallone has experienced a succession of painful events that have left him grappling with loss, family tension, and emotional exhaustion. First and foremost, he faced the passing of his beloved mother, Jacqueline Stallone, who had been an integral part of his life for nearly 100 years. Jacqueline, a force of nature in her own right, was not only a mother, but also a confidant, a guiding light, and a source of unyielding support for Sylvester throughout his life. The news of her passing hit Stallone harder than anyone could have expected. Despite being a seasoned Hollywood veteran who has experienced his share of ups and downs, the loss of his mother left him shattered. The emotional toll was visible as Stallone publicly mourned the death of the woman who had always for him. For someone who had fought through so much, poverty, rejection, the death of his mother was an overwhelming reminder of life's fragility and its ability to take away even the most cherished. Adding to his sorrow, Stallone has also been facing his own health battle. Despite maintaining a fierce and disciplined workout routine throughout his life, the toll of age and physical wear and tear have begun to catch up with. In recent weeks, he has had to confront these physical limitations in a way that has been difficult to accept. Known for his Herculean physique and intense dedication to fitness, Stallone has always prided himself on being in control of his body. However, as his body begins to slow down and health issues have taken center stage, it has become clear that even the strongest must eventually face the inevitable decline that comes with age. This realization has been an emotional blow for Stallone, who has built much of his identity around his physicality and strength. On top of these personal battles, Stallone has also found himself entangled in a very public and painful family drama. The breakdown of his marriage to Jennifer Flavin has added another layer of complexity to his already fragile emotional state. For years, Stallone's family life, particularly his relationship with Jennifer, was considered one of the more stable aspects of his high-profile existence. However, like many marriages, theirs began to experience its own set of challenges, eventually leading to their separation. The news of their divorce was both shocking and heartbreaking for fans, many of whom had looked up to their relationship as an example of Hollywood stability. With the breakup came a wave of public scrutiny, further compounding the stress Stallone was already under. In a world where privacy is increasingly hard to come by, Stallone's personal pain has been laid bare for the world to see. For a man who is no stranger to public attention, this level of exposure has been particularly difficult, as he has always prided himself on keeping his personal life out of the headlines. To top it all off, the strain of dealing with family issues and health concerns has begun to take its toll on his relationship with his children. The Stallone family, once thought to be untouchable, has faced its own set of challenges as Stallone tries to balance his role as both a father and a public figure. The pressures of his career, compounded by the recent personal losses and struggles, have made it more difficult to maintain these familial bonds. As a father, the emotional burden of trying to support his children while navigating his own grief and health issues has left Stallone feeling vulnerable and uncertain. It is clear that these recent events have hit him harder than anything he could have ever imagined. Despite all the glory and fame that come with being a Hollywood legend, Stallone is no different from any of us when it comes to facing the harsh realities of life. Behind the tough exterior, the famous muscles, and the larger-than-life persona lies a man who, like anyone, has his moments of weakness, vulnerability, and heartbreak. And while Stallone may continue to be a hero on screen, the tragedies he has faced recently serve as a stark reminder that even the toughest individuals are not immune to the personal challenges that life throws at them. His journey, much like the characters he's portrayed, is one of resilience, but it is also one of human fragility. As fans, we can only watch and support from afar, hoping that this iconic figure will find the strength to push through these darkest of times, just as he's done time and time again in his storied career. What Stallone is going through is a reminder that no matter how strong or successful we may appear on the outside, everyone has their breaking. This heartbreak is his, and it is one that has altered his life in ways no one could have predicted. The loss of Sylvester Stallone's mother, Jacqueline Stallone, stands as the most profound and heartbreaking event in his recent personal struggles. For Sylvester, Jacqueline was not just a mother, she was a pillar of support, a constant in his life who had always been there for him, offering both tough love and unwavering encouragement. Jacqueline, who passed away at the age of 98, was a remarkable woman in her own right. Known for her outspoken personality and vibrant energy, she was an astrologer, dancer, and an avid supporter of Sylvester's career. She had a presence that demanded attention, and her unique blend of strength and nurturing made her an irreplaceable figure in Sylvester's world. Throughout his life, Jacqueline was by his side, through every triumph and every failure, playing a key role in shaping the man we know as Sylvester Stallone. She had seen him at his lowest moment, when he was a struggling actor living in poverty, and watched with immense pride as he became one of the most iconic figures in Hollywood. Her death hit him with a force that was impossible to ignore. Despite his tough guy persona, Sylvester Stallone has always been deeply connected to his family, and losing his mother was a blow that shattered his emotional foundation. While many fans are used to seeing Stallone as the tough, unstoppable character on screen, the loss of his mother revealed a more vulnerable side of him, one that he had never truly exposed before. In the weeks following her passing, Stallone expressed his grief publicly, revealing the deep pain he felt at losing someone so integral to his life. In his tribute to Jacqueline, he described her as the most amazing woman and spoke of the emptiness he now felt without her presence. The pain of losing a parent is something that transcends fame and fortune, and for Stallone, the weight of this loss was particularly heavy. Jacqueline's death not only marked the end of an era for Stallone personally, but also left him grappling with a profound sense of loss that would prove difficult to navigate. She had been a constant source of support throughout his rise to fame, a rock that he could always count on, no matter how difficult things be. Her passing left a void in his life that no one, a reminder that even Hollywood legends are not immune to the tragedies that accompany the passage of time. Beyond the deep emotional pain, Jacqueline's death also prompted Stallone to reflect on his own life and legacy. As a man who had spent decades in the public eye, constantly striving for success and recognition, the reality of losing someone so close to him made him reevaluate what truly mattered: family, love, and connection. These became the things he found himself holding onto in the wake of his mother's passing. It's no secret that Stallone has always been fiercely protective of his family, and in the wake of Jacqueline's death, his thoughts turned to his own children, the next generation that would carry on the Stallone name. The passing of a matriarch is not only a loss for the individual, but for an entire family, and for Sylvester, it meant that a link in the chain had been broken. For many, the loss of a mother marks the end of childhood, an emotional transition that can leave one feeling lost and untethered. In Stallone's case, it meant losing the person who had always seen him, beyond the fame, beyond the movie, beyond the persona. Jacqueline knew the real Sylvester, the man who had struggled to make ends meet, the actor who had faced constant rejection, and the person who, despite his success, had always carried a deep-seated vulnerability. To lose that kind of connection is a grief that is almost impossible to express, but Stallone has tried in his own way, speaking openly about his sadness and reflecting on his mother's influence in his life. In many ways, Jacqueline was the backbone of the Stallone family, offering guidance, love, and an indomitable spirit that kept the family strong even through their most difficult moments. Her absence has left a void that has affected not only Stallone but his entire family, as they try to navigate the world without the woman who held them all together. This tragedy, however, comes at a time when Stallone's life is already complicated by other personal challenges. In addition to the emotional pain of losing his mother, Stallone has had to deal with the public fallout of his relationship struggles, particularly the breakdown of his marriage to Jennifer Flavin. This divorce, which was highly publicized, added an additional layer of complexity to his grief, as it came at a time when Stallone was already emotionally vulnerable. In many ways, the loss of his mother and the strain in his marriage have compounded each other, making it harder for Stallone to process and cope with the weight of both. His grief over Jacqueline's death has been intertwined with the emotional toll of navigating his family life in the wake of the public scrutiny that has accompanied both events has made the process. For a man who has always kept his personal life relatively private, the fact that his mourning was exposed to the world made an already painful experience even harder. It's one thing to grieve in private, but to have your pain put on display for the public eye is a different kind of torment altogether. And yet, despite the heavy burden of loss, Stallone has shown strength in the face of tragedy. His ability to continue working, to stay engaged with his career, and to remain involved with his family shows a level of resilience that mirrors the characters he's portrayed on screen. However, this doesn't mean that he is immune to the pain that comes with loss. His mother's passing has left him in a state of deep sorrow, and it's clear that this is a chapter in his life that he will carry with him forever. The impact of Jacqueline Stallone and the grief that Sylvester has felt for death is something shaken. For Sylvester Stallone, the loss of his mother is a tragedy that has touched every corner, and it will undoubtedly shape the way he forward. It's a loss that not only affects him personally, but that reverberates through the entire Stallone family. With the matriarch gone, the Stallone family will have to find a way to navigate the world without her, and Sylvester, in particular, will have to learn how to heal from a loss that no amount of fame or fortune. In addition to the heartbreak of losing his mother, Sylvester Stallone has also been grappling with a series of personal struggles and health challenges that have intensified the emotional toll he has experienced in recent months. Despite his legendary status as one of the most physically fit and resilient stars in Hollywood, Stallone, like so many others, is not immune to the natural aging process and the physical setbacks that come with it. Known for his dedication to fitness and his Herculean physique, Stallone has spent much of his life maintaining an intense workout regimen that has seen him achieve a body that seems impervious to time. However, as the years pass, even the most dedicated fitness enthusiasts must face the inevitable reality of aging, and for Stallone, this reality has become harder and harder to ignore. In recent times, the physical demands of his past roles, the constant training, and the toll of years of hard work have begun to catch up with him, leaving him to confront a new set of challenges that go beyond the usual struggles of maintaining muscle mass or fitness levels. Stallone, who once embodied the epitome of strength and vitality, now finds himself dealing with various health issues that are both frustrating and humbling. One of the most significant health challenges Stallone has had to face is related to his shoulder and neck, which have been a source of significant. As someone who has been no stranger to intense physical activity, from his famous fights in Rocky to his action-packed in Rambo, it is no surprise that his body would eventually show signs of wear and tear. The accumulated damage from years of physical exertion, including surgeries, has made it more difficult for Stallone to maintain the same level of fitness he once did. His physical condition has, in many ways, become a painful reminder of the cost of his career, with the lingering aches and pains serving as a backdrop to his daily life. For someone who has built much of his identity around his physical prowess, the realization that his body is not as resilient as it once was has been particularly difficult to accept. Stallone has expressed his frustration with these physical setbacks, revealing that the pain he experiences now is far more intense than he ever anticipated. This struggle with his body's limitations has been a humbling experience for Stallone, forcing him to come to terms with the reality that even the most resilient bodies are vulnerable to the effects of time. The reality of his aging body has created a sense of vulnerability that Stallone has not been used to. He has always been able to rely on his physical strength, but as he faces increasing difficulty with everyday tasks and routine, Stallone has had to come to grips with the limitations that come with aging. This has been especially difficult for him because he has built much of his persona around his physicality, and being forced to slow down and acknowledge his health issue has been a profound emotional struggle. The pain he feels now serves as a constant reminder that his body, which once seemed invincible, is now showing signs of wear. Alongside these physical challenges, Stallone has also had to contend with the emotional strain of confronting his own mortality. For a man who has spent his career playing larger-than-life character, fighter, soldier, coming to terms with his own health has been a harsh and sobering experience. It is not just the pain that has been difficult, but also the emotional weight of realizing that his body may not be able to withstand the rigors of the intense reality once embraced so readily. The aging process has a way of making individuals confront their own vulnerability, and for Stallone, this has meant confronting not just the physical aspects of age, but also the emotional implications of losing his sense of physical power. Beyond his physical struggles, Stallone has also been dealing with a number of personal issues that have added to the emotional burden of his health challenge. These struggles, which have been playing out in the public eye, have made it even harder for him to focus on his well-being. The public dissolution of his marriage to Jennifer Flavin has been a particularly painful chapter in Stallone's life, as it came at a time when he was already the heavy emotional toll of his mother's death and the pain of his own physical. The breakdown of their marriage was a shock to fans who had long viewed Stallone and Flavin as one of Hollywood's more stable couples. The divorce has been highly publicized, with details of their separation being splashed across tabloids and entered news outlets. For someone who has always valued his privacy, this public exposure has made an already painful process even more challenging. The emotional strain of navigating a divorce while dealing with health issues has left Stallone feeling overwhelmed, isolated, and uncertain about the future. This combination of personal and physical challenges has taken a toll on Stallone's mental health, as the pressure of trying to balance his emotional pain with his physical limitations has at times seemed insurmountable. Stallone has always been known for his strength and resilience, but like anyone else, he has his breaking. The loss of his mother, combined with his ongoing health struggles and the collapse of his marriage, has created a perfect storm of emotional distress that has made it difficult for Stallone to find. The weight of these challenges caused him to question his legacy and his ability to continue performing at the high level he once did. There is also the added pressure of being a public figure, someone whose life and struggles are constantly under the microscope. Stallone's every move is watched, scrutinized, and analyzed by the public, and this constant exposure has made it difficult for him to deal with deeply personal struggles in a private manner. While he has always been open about his career, Stallone has been less forthcoming about his personal health and family issues, which has led to a sense of isolation as he faces these battles alone, or at least with very few people able to truly understand the depth of what he is going through. These personal struggles have forced Stallone to confront the reality that, despite his best efforts, he is not invincible. The toll of years of physical strain and the emotional weight of losing loved ones and experiencing personal upheaval have left him feeling vulnerable in ways he has never experienced before. It is a humbling reminder that even the toughest individuals, the ones who have appeared on screen as invincible superheroes, are not immune to the effects of age, grief, and the trials of life. Stallone's health challenges have become a central part of his life, and while he has always been known for his physical strength and resilience, he is now learning the painful lesson that even the strongest must eventually come to terms with the limitations of the human body. This ongoing battle with his health, combined with the emotional strain of his personal life, is a reminder that even legends like Stallone must face their own mortality and confront the challenges that come with it. In the wake of the overwhelming personal and health challenges that Sylvester Stallone has been facing, the strain on his family relationships has become more apparent than ever. Known for his tough exterior and determination to push through any obstacle, Stallone's struggles have not only affected his physical and mental well-being, but they have also reverberated through his relationships with the people closest to him, particularly his wife and children. At the heart of these strains is the complex dynamic within his family, which has been tested to its limits in recent times. The breakdown of Stallone's 25-year marriage to Jennifer Flavin is perhaps the most public and painful example of how these personal challenges have affected his closest family ties. Stallone and Flavin, who were often seen as a symbol of Hollywood stability, seemed like an unshakable couple to the outside world. Their bond was forged through years of shared experiences, both joyful and challenging, and their family life, centered around their 3 daughters, was a reflection of their enduring love. However, the cracks in their relationship began to show as Stallone struggled with the emotional and physical toll of his health issues. The loss of his mother, Jacqueline, in 2020, was a particularly hard blow for Stallone, who had been deeply close to her throughout his life. The emotional devastation of that loss, combined with his deteriorating health, left Stallone struggling to cope. His pain and grief, though deeply personal, became increasingly difficult for those around him. The dynamic within his marriage shifted. Stallone withdrawn, battling both physical discomfort and the emotional weight of his personal struggle. The constant pressure to maintain a public image, strong figure, only exacerbated. For Flavin, who had supported him throughout his career and personal life, this shift in their relationship came a heavy burden. As Stallone's health worsened and the strain of his emotional challenge, Flavin found herself questioning the future of their marriage. While the details of their separation private, it is clear that the combination of Stallone's health issues and his emotional withdrawal from the contributed to the breakdown of their once solid partner. Their divorce, which came as a shock to many, was a devastating turn for both parties, marking the end of a long chapter. For Stallone, who had always placed great importance on family, the dissolution of his marriage was a painful reminder that even the strongest relationships can falter under the weight of personal turmoil. The separation also had a ripple effect on their children, who were caught in the middle of their parents' struggles. Stallone and Flavin's 3 daughters, Sophia, Sistine, and Scarlett, have been particularly affected by the divorce, each of them experiencing their own turmoil as they navigate a dynamic. While Stallone and Flavin have both expressed their commitment to co-parenting and ensuring their children's well-being, the emotional impact on the family has been undeniable. The toll of the divorce has been compounded by Stallone's ongoing health battles, leaving him unable to fully engage in the role of father in the way he once did. This has created a sense of distance between him and his daughters, as they have had to adapt to a new reality without the familiar stability of their parents' marriage. For Stallone, being a father has always been one of his most important roles, and the strain on his relationship with his children has only deepened the emotional weight of the situation. His daughters, who have grown up in the public eye, have faced the added challenge of dealing with the breakdown of their family under the scrutiny of the media. The pressure of being in the spotlight while simultaneously processing their personal pain has been an added burden for them.